Went to see Ezra Pound when I was 18, when I was in college. He was in the psycho ward at St. Elizabeth's Hospital, which was the way his defense lawyer had saved him from being shot for treason for the things he'd said during World War II. The plea of insanity, they said that he was crazy, and he probably was a little crazy. I knew nothing about his politics, fortunately. And he, to my amazement now, took me seriously as a poet. He decided this is a young man who says he wants to be a poet, and he accepted that. And he said, if you want to be a poet, you have to take it seriously. You have to work on it the way you would work on anything else, and you have to do it every day. He said, you should write about 75 lines a day. You know, Pound was a great one for laying down the law about how you did anything. And he said, and you don't have anything to write 75 lines about a day. You said, you don't really have anything to write about. He said, at the age of 18, you think you do, but you don't. And he said, the way to do it is to learn a language and translate. And he said, that way you can practice and you can find out what you can do with your language. He said, you can learn a foreign language, but the translation is your way of learning your own language. I love the city, but I also love the country, and I realize that when I'm in the city, I miss the country all the time. When I'm in the country, I miss the city some of the time. So what I do now is live in the country and go to the city some of the time. But I can't imagine living in the country without being part of it, without growing things, without doing something. Writing poetry has, to me, always had something to do with how you want to live. I guess I've done something that a lot of my contemporaries didn't do. Many of them went into universities and had academic careers, and I have nothing against that. I mean, I don't preach against that and say what a terrible thing. I think it's a fine thing if that's what you're made for, but I didn't think I was made for it. I begin, after about a week in the university, I begin to feel the oxygen's going out of the air very fast, and I have to go somewhere else. This is a poem that I wrote in the early 80s, shortly after I met Paula, my wife. It's called Late Spring. Coming into the high room again after years, after oceans and shadows of hills and the sounds of lies, after losses and feet on stairs, after looking and mistakes and forgetting, turning there thinking to find no one except those I knew, finally I saw you sitting in white, already waiting. You of whom I had heard with my own ears since the beginning, for whom more than once I had opened the door, believing you were not far.